Good morning, my students, and welcome to your English class. Today, my children, we're going to make two activities. The first activity of the day is a review of all the animals we have seen so far, starting with animals of the farm, animals of the zoo, and animals of the sea. And the second activity of the day consists in the numbers. We're gonna make an activity with the numbers that also appears in the textbook. So let's start with the class. Now, before we start, also a little bit of reminder for you. Don't forget that on Friday we have our festivity about the Day of the Dead. So it's important to remember to study and to practice the Halloween songs, okay? Because we're going to sing it together this Friday. So prepare your best costume, your mask, and your capes, because we're going to have a lot of fun on Friday. Very good, let's start. Now, animals of the farm. Do you remember what are animals of the farm? First of all, a farm, it's like a house, but a little bit bigger. And in the farm, we have animals like the pigs, which are colored pink and are a little bit chubby or fat. Also, we can find sheep. Now, do you remember the sound of the sheep? Very good. Also, the sheep are colored white, okay? And the only color that they have is in the face, which is colored pink. Besides the pigs, the sheep, we have the horses. Now, remember that the horses are big animals and make noises like okay? And also, we have another type of animal that is similar to the horse, which is called the donkeys. Do you remember the sound of the donkeys? Donkeys are color gray and the horses are color brown, black, or sometimes it can be color white, okay? Very good. Now, another type of animal that we can find in the farm is the duck. Now, the duck, it's an animal that is colored yellow and make noises like quack, 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 okay? All of those animals belong to the group of farm animals. Let's continue with the second group of animals that is called the animals of the zoo. Now, animals of the zoo, we can find, remember there are two types of animals of the zoo. The animals that are pretty big and the animals that are dangerous, like the lions, the tigers, the bears, okay? Those animals are very dangerous and you have to be careful whenever you go to a zoo. Cuando vayan al zoológico, you have to be very careful, okay? Don't try to get near to a tiger or a lion or a bear because it can scratch you, okay? You have to be very careful with those animals. Now, animals that are big and you can find in a zoo are, for example, elephants. Now, the elephants are animals that are colored gray and they have a big nose, which is called trunk. The nose of the elephant is called a trunk, okay? And they use it to drink water or to succionar agua, okay? Now, also, another characteristic of the elephants is that they are very slow because they are very big and they are very heavy. They are very, very slow, okay? Now, something that the elephants love are peanuts. Do you remember what are peanuts? Peanuts, it's a fruit, very small, which is colored brown, okay? In Spanish, they are called cacahuates, okay? In English, remember, they are peanuts. And elephants, they love, aman los cacahuates, they love peanuts, okay? Let's continue with another animal that is also very big, which is the giraffe, okay? Now, the giraffe, it's an animal that has a long, pretty long neck. This is neck, okay? And it's completely yellow with spots, manchas, spots colored black or brown, okay? And they love the leaves of the trees. gustan las hojas de los árboles. They don't eat peanuts. They eat leaves of the trees, okay? Very good. So those are animals of the zoo. And what about animals of the sea? Do you remember animals of the sea? Now don't forget that the sea, it's a place that is full of water, un lugar lleno de agua. That is the sea. And animals of the sea, we have a lot. We have the sharks, which are the most dangerous, okay? We have to be very careful whenever we go to a beach or whenever we go swimming. We have to look and be careful with the sharks because they eat people, okay? Then we have the dolphins. Dolphins are not dangerous. They are very, very friendly. Son muy amigables. Dolphins. Also, another animal, fishes. We have fishes. For example, the clownfish, which is Nemo, like the movie Finding Nemo. That's a fish color orange with lines color white, okay? Then we have the octopus. Remember, octopus are color purple and they have 8 arms. Humans, like the teacher, only have 2 arms, and octopus, they have 8 different arms, and they also live under the sea, okay? Very good. So those are animals of the sea, and it's very important for you, my children, that you study them, you review them, and you practice them every day, okay? Very good. And what about the numbers? Do you remember the numbers? It's also very important, okay, to remember the numbers. So in the future, you can make additions, subtractions, and several other operations, mathematical operations, okay? Now let's review the numbers. Starting with the number 1, which is the soldier. The number 2 is the duck. Quack, 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 quack. The number 3 is the snake, okay? Number 4, don't forget, that is like a chair, but upside down, boca abajo. Number 5 is the number that likes to eat, so that's why it has a big stomach, a big belly. Number 6 is like a cherry, color red, okay? Number 7, remember, that is the sleepy number. It's always tired, always lazy, so that's why it's inclined, okay? Siempre está inclinado, number 7. Very good. Now, the activity of the day, my children, is like the activity of Friday. Do you remember on Friday, we make an activity where we have to count the objects or the animals, and we have to join it, lo teníamos que unir with the correct number according to the total of animals that appear on the whiteboard. That same activity, we're going to reinforce it, we're going to continue working it today. So let's start. First of all, we have here a different type of animals. These animals are called insects, okay? In the future, on the future classes, we're going to see insects. But for now on, we're going to make this example. Now, these insects are called ants. And they are very, 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 very small, very tiny insects, okay? And sometimes ants are color red or brown. In this case, we're going to use color red at the end of the activity when we are painting it, okay? Now, first of all, we have to count how many ants appear here on the whiteboard. For this, I require your help. You have to help the teacher count. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are 7 ants. So these ants, we have to join it with the number 7, okay? Now remember, number 7 is the number that is always sleepy. So let's look for it. We have here the one that looks like a cherry, which is number 6. That's not the one. Here it is, number 7. So with your color, with any color that you want, we have to join the insect, the ant, with the number 7. Okay? Here we go. That's it. Very good and very easy. Let's continue with the second object. In this case, we have some flowers. Now, flowers are different colors. We can find flowers color green, color purple, color yellow, or color pink, or color white, okay? Remember, we have to count the flowers to see what's the number, what's the total, and then join it with the correct number. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, let's count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We have 6 flowers. Now don't forget that number 6, it's like a cherry. So let's look for it. Number 6, here it is. You see it? Like a cherry. So once again, with the same color, or if you want to pick another one, there is no problem. The flowers, we join them with the number 6. And at the end of the activity, which is the most important part, don't forget the counting and the joining of the numbers with the objects. After that, we can start painting the activity, okay? For the ants, we can use color brown, either brown or red. In my case, I'm going to go with color red. And while you are painting, don't forget to repeat the name of the insect. Ants. Ants are color red. Ants. Ants are color red. Ants. Ants are very small. And ants are color red. Ants are very small. And ants are color red. Excellent. Let's continue with the second object, which are the flowers. Again, for the flowers, you can use a lot of colors, several colors, different colors. In my case, I'm going to use only color green, okay? Flowers. Flowers are color green. Flowers are very small. Flowers are color green. Flowers are very small. Excellent. Okay, and after this we have to continue with the numbers. Don't forget the number that looks like a cherry, it's number 6.